Hello everyone and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be talking about tile placement games. Now what is a tile placement game? Well, it's simple as taking a tile and placing it somewhere. Now there's different ways that this is done. I'm going to go over 5 games today that do this mechanic well. And the first game I want to mention is Carcassonne. Now this is kind of a starter tile placement game. It's very friendly to those who are just new to the hobby. It's also very friendly for families. And basically all you're doing is you're going to have a bunch of tiles stacked up, and you're going to take the top tile, you're going to look at it and decide where you want it to go. All the sides have to line up with another, with terrain that looks like it. So if there's a road here, it has to attach to a road. If there's grass, it has to attach to grass. And if there's a city, like up here, it has to attach to another city or to an open space that has yet been put down there. So you just place that tile, and if you want to, you can place a meeple on top of either the city area or the road, or if you're playing with the farm style, the grass. There are other tiles in here that are like a church, and you could place it there. And you're going to score points whenever that area has been closed off or at the end of the game. And there's a bit of strategy to it, but overall the idea of it is very simple, very easy to get into. And so that is Carcassonne. Now the next game I want to look at is Azul, Stained Glass of Sintra. And this game you're going to be filling up a bunch of different columns like this with different colored shapes, and then once you fill it up, you'll flip it over and you'll fill up the other side, and you're going to have a whole line of these that you're going to be trying to fill up. But if you are to take more of a color than you can place, you have to go ahead and break that glass there, and so you're going to get negative points for that. And so you want to try and be careful you don't take too many of those extras. But the thing is, you're going to have a plate tray like this, and you're going to have to take all of a color if you're going to take that. So if I wanted blue, I'd have to take both blues and put those on my board. And then these ones are going to go to a center area, and then they're going to kind of accumulate and build up, and so you're going to have a bunch in the center. And now let's say there's like 6 yellows that have accumulated in the center, and it's come towards the end of the round. You have to take all 6, even if you can only use 2 or 3 of them, and you'll get negative points for those ones you don't take. And so there's a strategic amount of figuring out what you want to take when and what you want to wait on. Hopefully more will accumulate for you. Trying to judge whether you are going to take that negative punishment there for taking certain things because of the value of going ahead and filling out that row. And there's a little bit of an engine built along the way where you get more points as you go across the rows on ones you've already completed. And so it's very strategical when it comes to all of that. They're trying to figure that out. And so I like Azul, and specifically the Stained Glass of Sintra. Now the next game I want to look at as far as tile placement goes is the Downfall of Pompeii. Now this game does not start out with you placing tiles. It actually starts out with you placing people into the city of Pompeii. But then there's going to come a second round where you're trying to escape the city of Pompeii as the volcano is going off. And in there, each person is going to be laying down tiles that look like this. And they each have a symbol in them, which means they have to start in a starting area that has that symbol. And then each one after that has to be adjacent to another piece that has that symbol. And so you're going to be trying to put those out where it's going to cover up your opponents and make them go into the volcano. And you're trying to put them in places where it's not going to hurt you so that you can go ahead and get your people out of the city. And so that's kind of a neat little way of doing a tile placement there where you are taking on the role of the volcano each round before you take on the role of getting your people out there to try and destroy the other people and get while you're trying to get the most of your people to safety. And so that's a neat little tile placement game there. Now another game that does this tile placement mechanic well is Calico. And in Calico you're going to have a quilt that looks like this, and where those 3 different cat figures are, you're going to have different bonus tiles that each one's going to have a different requirement. Like for instance, this one here wants you to get 3 of one pattern, 2 of another pattern, and 1 of another pattern, or that many of colors, or both. You get 7 points if you get either pattern or color matching that amount, or you get 11 points if you were to get both. And so you're going to have 3 of those in different places. And you're also going to be wanting to try and match colors so that you can get bonus points for having like 3 colors together will get you a button, that you will get bonus points for that, as well as different patterns will attract different cats. And here are the different tiles. You're going to have 2 tiles to choose from in your hand, and you're going to play one of those onto your quilt. and then you're going to have the other one left in your storage for later, as well as there's going to be 3 tiles from a shared pool of tiles that you're going to select one of those, and then another one will come out to fill that back up. And so you always have a choice of 3, but it's going to come back around eventually to you, and you don't know which ones others are going to take along the way, which ones you're going to still have access to when it comes back to your turn. And so you're going to be kind of looking out, hopefully, that you can get the right ones so you can fulfill the different patterns on your board. So you might put this tile right here because it's next to a blue right there. And say if I get a third blue tile anywhere adjacent here, I can go ahead and get the button for that. If you get all of your different colored buttons, there's 6 different colors. If you get all of them, then you get a special rainbow button, which is worth another 3 points. And so you're going to be trying to attract cats to your quilt by having different patterns that represent the patterns that cat wants, and the different either number of that pattern or different formation of that pattern, as well as for the buttons and the pattern goals there in the middle of your board. So you've been trying to do all of that, and it starts out as a very open. You can put things pretty much anywhere, and it feels very free at the beginning of the game. But then it's going to get tighter and tighter as the game goes on as to what you need, and hopefully it'll come out. Might not come out. Somebody might take the one you want right before you're able to use it, and you might have to change your strategy along the way. It's a great puzzly type game, and I really enjoy this tile placement game. Now, the last game I want to bring up that does this tile placement mechanic well is Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Now, in this game, you are building a castle to your right and a castle to your left. You're working cooperatively with the player on your right and the player on your left. You're going to try and make both those castles worth as many points as you can, because you're actually only going to be able to score the one that has the least amount of points. And so you want your least amount to still be high. But you're hoping that your opponents, with the person on their right or the person on their left, won't be able to do as good. And so you're going to be building up, you're going to be putting different tiles, and you're going to have a stack of 9 tiles to start out with. And you're going to look through that stack of 9 tiles, and you're going to pick 2 of those tiles, and you're going to pass the stack on to the person to your left. And then when everybody's done that and drafted their 2 tiles, you are then going to decide which castles you're going to put these into. You're going to kind of talk it over with the person to your right. Okay, I want to put this in this castle. Where are we going to put it? And they're going to have one that they're going to want to put in the castle, and you're going to try to maximize the value by placing them places where they want to be. Now let's take, for example, placing this tile here. If you can tell on the bottom there, it wants to have a bedroom above and below it, and it gets 2 points for each bedroom above and below, just one right above and right below. So you're going to want to put that somewhere you'll be able to put a bedroom down above it. Maybe you want to put it somewhere where there's already a bedroom below it. And so to try and maximize that. And then over on this other side, you've got this bedroom tile, which would have been nice to go along with that one over there, but maybe another bedroom will come around. And you're going to say, okay, where are we going to put this bedroom? And you're going to cooperate with your opponents on each side of you to try and make each castle worth as much as possible, hoping that the lower castle of the 2 is still going to have the highest points. At a certain point, if you get a certain amount, I think it's 3 of a certain tile type, you are then going to be able to get a bonus tile of some sort, depending on what kind of room it is. And so you'll be able to put that down in there. And so or some bonus cards as well as for bonus objectives, as one of them goes. And so you're going to be trying to figure out what's the ideal there for me to work towards in order to be able to get this and be able to get the best scores on both of my castles. And it's going to go around, you're going to go around until all those 9 tiles have been used, except for one at on each pile is going to be tossed away. So you're going to go through 8 of them. And once everybody's placed those tiles, you're then going to go into the second round, where you're going to get another stack of 9 tiles, pass those around, getting 2 at a time, and putting those into your castles. And at the end of round 2, you'll go up and add up your points and see who has the castle that has the least amount of points for them, that has the most amount of points compared to everybody else. So that's Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So these are 5 games that do the tile placement mechanic well. Let me know in the comments below what tile placement games you enjoy playing, and I'll catch you in the next video.